Hello everybody and welcome to another expanded guide. Today, Travis and I are talking about Marie Lambeau, the entertainer. The investigator's so nice they released her twice. She was a book promo and then she came out on Circle Undone. And Travis, it's a mystic and you like mystics more than me, so why don't you talk about Marie Lambeau?
Sure. She's got 4 in her brain, 4 in her book, 1 in her punch, and 3 in her foot, which honestly is like almost a really good stat line. It is a really good stat line, but not in conjunction with her deck building.
Yeah, and also like you'll notice that in the strengths it says great stats, and then in the weaknesses it also says great stats.
Yeah.
Because they kind of, we'll get into that, but they kind of eat each other a little bit.
Yeah, they cannibalize each other a bit.
Yeah.
And then while you have 1 or more Doom among cards you control, you may take an additional action during your turn, which can be only used to play spell cards or activate spell-activated abilities. Yes, she's a Doom investigator. There's a lot of cards that were released that care about Doom and the Scarlet Keys. We're not going to be talking about those in line with all the other expanded videos, so don't ask about it. Though we may mention them.
Yeah.
If they're relevant to other cards. But yeah. And her star effect, +1, you may add 1 Doom to or remove 1 Doom from a card you control. This includes like all your assets. Marie Lambeau's Investigator card if you really want to protect that Doom to keep your extra action or whatever. She's got 6 health and 8 brain. Honestly, good starting stats.
Yeah.
For health and sanity.
Yeah, definitely.
She's got the standards 30 deck size, and then her deck building options are spell cards level 0 to 5, mystic cards 0 to 3, neutral 0 to 5, occult cards level 0, and up to 5 other level 0 seeker and or survivor cards. So those are pretty weird deck building options. The spell cards function 0 to 5 is very similar to mystic cards 0 to 5.
Yes.
But
yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, it felt like you didn't really miss the Mystic cards level 4 and 5 until the Scarlet Keys came out.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That is true.
But yeah, you basically get to play purple cards. Like, the spells are the ones you care about, because you want to be playing spells to get your extra action every turn, because if you're not, why are you playing her?
Yeah.
The occult cards, I'm pretty sure, was included there just so she could play, stupid untranslated book thing.
I don't know the name of it.
It's the one from Carcosa, I think.
The Archaic Glyphs? Is that
Yeah, Archaic Glyphs.
Ah, let's go!
I'm pretty sure level 0 is like occult, and then the upgrade ones are spells.
I can find out.
And then, yeah, the other 5
It's
Secret
right here.
Survivor cards are nice. Right on top. Yeah. Secret Survivor cards nice. You can do like neat little packages to leverage your book with the Secret stuff. You can play Dark Horse builds with Survivor. Both fun things.
Yeah. It's kind of like Finn, where you have the fun flexibility.
Yeah, she's supposed to have like Finn deck building. Except that... Yeah, no, it is basically just Finn deck building.
Yeah.
It's part of that, like, not cycle. And then we have Mystifying Song here. You have to have Mystifying Song as Baron Samedi and 1 random weakness as usual. Mystifying Song is a 3-cost event that commits for 2 wilds. It's fast. You play when the agenda would advance by reaching its Doom threshold, and then to the end of the phase, the agenda cannot advance by reaching its Doom threshold. You remove Mystifying Song from the game. This is really nice to get you like an extra, not only just get the entire table an extra turn, but also you get to maintain the Doom on your cards for your cards that care about that for an extra round.
Yeah, it's a very strong personal.
Yeah, lets you just have like 1 really powerful turn, especially if you have cards that care about how much Doom is in play. And then Baron Samedi, this guy takes up your ally. Kinda.
He's mean.
He's kind.
He's good and mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a common theme with Mary. He takes up your ally slot, so if you don't have a charisma, you have an ally in play, and you draw Baron Samedi, your ally explodes.
Yeah,
and you get this guy instead. He's not an ally, though. He's an avatar. And so we reveal him and put him into play. Can't leave play while he has less than 3 Doom on him. And force, when any amount of damage is placed on an Investigator in his location, you put an additional damage on that Investigator, which is honestly horrific. Like...
Yeah, it's bad. It hurts.
It's tough, man.
It hurts.
And there's a lightning bolt you can exhaust and put a Doom on him. And then if he has 3 or more Doom on him, you discard him. So, like, the good with him is that he is technically a card that you control.
Yeah.
So you put a Doom on him, and he enables you to get an extra action for spell cards and spell abilities per Mary's Investigator card. The downside is you will die very quickly. Your teammates will die very quickly. And there are some scenarios where it is, like, impossible to get rid of him.
Can you imagine in, like, Horror and High Gear, and just everyone looks over and Baron Samedi's in the passenger seat? He's like, you're all gonna die!
Yeah. Like...
Because, there's some situations, too, when you get, like, the Doom thresholds make it very hard to get rid of Baron.
Yeah, Baron Samedi's like, oh, let's play a game. You have 1 extra action to get necessary clues, but also, if you don't, you're gonna explode.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's kind of a bully. But, like, he does have that plot positive, too, where you are able to use him to get an extra action.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And as you can see, that's one of her weaknesses. It is a very tough personal weakness.
Honestly, like, I think it's pretty fair for contrast with Mystifying Song. Mystifying Song is a very powerful
good
card.
Yeah, definitely.
And, like, especially with you do get an extra action out of him for a couple turns is, like, not horrible. Especially if you're relying on your ally asset, something like David Renfield or Arcane shit to provide that doom for you. He, like, fills a similar role.
Definitely. And also, like, I mean, like, if you do want an ally slot that you want to play, like, Charisma's pretty cheap. 3 XP ain't that much when you have the Mystic experience stuff that help you boost your experience in other ways.
And honestly, I haven't played with it since, or played with Marie Lambeau. I keep calling her Sister Mary. They have the same name, you know.
Yeah.
Since Edge of the Earth came out, but Baron Samedi might be a little less harsh with the access to those spiritual Healy things.
Yes. And actually, even, like, once again, Travis said we're not talking about Scarlet Keys because these videos would be too long.
Also, I'd have to read them all.
Yeah. But, like, there's that new Grizzly, or the
Hollow Chalice?
No, that one would be good too, but also the one where you just place a clue down and heal 3 damage.
Yeah.
Like, that is also a really nice tech card for Baron Samedi as well.
That is nice.
Yeah. All right, well, why don't we talk about some of the core set cards? And I will start us off. If you see a little sticker in the top right, a little elder sign or a spell, or maybe even something that says clue, that means you can find a link down in the description to a video where we talk about that in greater detail, because I don't want to talk about shriveling 20 times. Holy Rosary gives you brain. It's a staple. Shriveling, it lets you attack with your brain. You're going to see that in all the spells. There's going to be one for evading, one for investigating. Yep. Arcane Initiate enters play with Doom. That's great. It allows you to then, use your spell cards, and it lets you draw spell cards.
Go back. We didn't talk about the strengths and weaknesses. Yeah, we need to talk about the brain.
Oh, the stat. Oh, yeah, sure.
Stat line's the important part. The other ones we all kind of talked about. But,
yeah.
So the weird thing about Sister Mary is that, like, she wants you to use her book, but also, like, you want to use her brain because she's a mystic and you have access to spells, which you use your brain for the most part. And then, you have access to the yellow cards to make your book better, but, like, generally using your brain is just going to be better. If you're not using your book to investigate, then, like, the 4 stat points in are kind of wasted. Which is the tough part about it. So it's like, it's nice early in the game when you can just throw basic investigate actions at things and feel pretty okay about it. 2 shroud locations or whatever. But as you get further into the campaign, you're going to be exclusively using your brain, and I think that the book just is wasted.
Yeah, so. And it's one of those things, too, where, I mean, obviously some of the Edge of the Earth spells that we get to can help leverage that. Like, Divination is really good with Marie Lambeau because she can use, like, deduction and stuff like that, right?
Oh, yeah. That's fair.
But what really makes it awkward too is that she only gets 5 Seeker cards. If she was like Mystic Seeker, this would be a phenomenal stat line because she can really leverage the Seeker side of her as well.
Honestly, she would have made a really nice like one of the Tony Morgan or Mandy deck building investigators.
Yeah, oh hell yeah.
Pick your color.
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those things where like it's good. Like having 4 book is good, but at a certain point you're going to notice that 4 book basically reads 0 book.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Back to Arcane Initiate. So she enters play with Doom, which lets you use your spells as an additional action, and it also helps you find spells to use for your additional actions.
Great card.
Arcane Studies, you can bump up your brain in your book, the 2 stats that we said were, her good stats. Drawn to the Flame, you get to draw a topic in the encounter deck and discover 2 clues of your location. You're a mystic. Encounter deck ain't a problem because you got water protection. You can stop evil cards like Ancient Evils, and it's a staple. Mind Wipe. Choose a non-elite enemy location that treat the enemy's printed text box as if it was blank. This basically you can remove a scary threat as long as it's not elite, and like getting rid of stuff like Retaliate or even like Alert, or even just like there's tons of stuff that is valuable to get rid of on those enemies. Book of Shadows lets you add charges to a spell as you control. Book of Shadows feels a lot less bad when it's a free action, when it's your free action for the turn.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's not really, but like when you
it's
have
not actually the free action, but like
it feels like it is. Yeah. And then we got Flashlight, which just helps you investigate better.
One note about the Arcane Stage before we move on. So Arcane Stage level 0 is not a good card. We don't like to play it. Spell, especially a Mystic, your cards cost $1 billion. And you're not gonna have the resources to dump into it. But one thing that level 0 Arcane Studies does really well is get upgraded by down the rabbit hole.
Very true. Very true.
And like level 4 Arcane Studies is quite good for Mary, I think.
Can she play it?
Oh no, you're right.
She can't.
Yeah.
Oh, we might have to put up the sensor card on that one. I think it might be in here.
Oh, level 2 is still fine for her, but
yeah.
It's a lot better when you pay for free. But yeah, no, like you can spend, especially if you're using David Renfield, who we'll get to juice your resources. You can use it to make that book relevant late into the game, and then like your brain relevant for when it needs to be.
Definitely, and also like
you can basically play this instead of like a Sixth Sense. It's like a slotless Sixth Sense. Almost.
Yeah, and then also it's one of those things too where like you can look at a card like this, and in a pinch, if you have to commit this just to get you over a bump on a test that you need to get it on, it's not the end of the world because the card is also kind of expensive.
True.
Emergency cash, get more money, guts, perception, make those stats better. Manual deck, she has 3 foot. So going up to 5 is a really nice number.
Like we said, her stat line is good. It's just awkward.
Yeah. And then we got some staples from Seeker and Survivor. Magnifying Glass to get more book, Dr. Milan to get more book and more money.
Yeah.
Deduction to get more clues, and Lucky to pass a test when you otherwise would fail.
Look where I found could have probably been here too.
Yeah, definitely. We're only giving you like guidance. We're not like giving you the gun to fight with. We're saying these are the guns you might want to shoot. So go hunting.
We got our Ray is Seeking here. This one lets you investigate with your brain, and you get an extra clue. Pretty common effect that you're gonna want to play a lot of. We have a Ritual Candles, great hand slot item, especially at level 0. It just basically gives you +1 whenever you draw one of the symbol tokens. Pretty handy. You have Delve Too Deep, which is great for scaling your spells into the late game. Moonlight Ritual is pretty integral for some, especially pre-Scarlet Keys Doom builds, where like sometimes you stack up a bunch of Doom on David Renfield or whatever, and you've screwed up and you don't have a plan to kill him, so this is your plan. It's also a spell, which is very nice, very
definitely.
handy. It's Insight as well, which plays well with some of the yellow cards. And also with Devermis Mysterious.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I should play it from discard for 2 reasons. We got a Rite of Seeking level 4 here. This one gives you +2 brain, and if you succeed, you get 2 additional clues. Again, it has a downside, but don't worry about that. Just do it as your last action.
I do love how the downside is just the same for all of them, because it can't get worse.
The player who takes their turn after you also loses an action.
Yeah. And the investigation phase.
Yeah. That'd be brutal, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is sort of what we're talking about. Like when your spells get better, you're not going to be invested. Like with the first one, it's basically like a fingerprint kit almost with a bigger downside. And then the level 4 is like, oh, you get like 2 extra clues and you get +2 brain. Why would I use my book to investigate? We have our upgrade Shrivelings level 3 and 5 here. These let you fight better. It's good. Jewel of Aureolus is a great economy card. After you reveal a symbol token, after symbol token is revealed during a test at your location, you can exhaust it to either draw a card or gain 2 resources.
It's very nice.
It's nice. We have our level 5 War Protection, which just stops everything.
Everything.
Got our level 3 Blood Pact. For a long time, I think that Mary was the only one who really wanted to play this, but it's permanent 3 experience. As a Lightning Bolt, you can add a Doom to the Blood Pact to get +3 brain for the skill test, or add a Doom to get +3 Fist. +3 Fist didn't matter. It still doesn't really. +3 brain, though, is pretty good, especially when you gives you an extra action, too. Got Relic Hunter Charismas here. Both these are actually quite solid inclusions for Mary. The Relic Hunter, there's lots of accessories that you want to play. Holy Rosary, the Jewel of Aureolus, we've already seen, and we'll see more. And Charisma is nice if you have an ally that you genuinely care about and don't want to just watch them explode to Baron Samedi.
Yeah.
For example, if you intend to play El Rubash.
Yep.
That's her name.
Diana Esperance as well, 2 good
Diana.
allies that you're spending experience for. Don't want them to just get killed by Baron.
Yep. And then we got some flex cards here for our Seeker and Rogue. Seeker and Survivor slots. Shortcuts, just a good yellow card. Prosperous Sketches, some card draw, something that purple tends to struggle with a little bit.
Definitely.
Acquiring Mind, just a nice +3. Great filler card. Dark Horse, you gotta lean into the Dark Horse archetype, but Mary can definitely do it. She has the stats. She gets 3 quarters of the Dark Horse, so
yeah.
Doesn't use the hooves though.
No. All right, on to Carcosa. So we have Uncage the Soul. This lets you play a spell or a ritual, reducing its cost by 3. So it's just like, action compression and resource. It's nice economy.
And 2 brain. Great card.
Yeah, and 2 brain when you don't need
Your
it.
deck should probably start with 2 of these in it.
Yeah, probably. Astral Travel, it's a spell, so you can play this as your free action. You get a move, and you get to reveal a symbol, and if it's a bad one, basically an item or allies you control, you discard it. Notably, again, Baron Samedi is not an ally. Nope. He's an avatar.
Even if he was, I don't think you can choose to discard him because he's
I
not.
would agree. Yeah, I think that's
you
also
can't
right.
choose to discard weaknesses.
However, you could definitely discard David Renfield to this. But David Renfield is a great card in Marie Lambeau if you're playing without the taboo list. And if you're just starting out, don't play with the taboo list. Just let it ride. When there's a Doom on him, he gets +1 brain. And you can exhaust him to place a Doom on him and gain a resource for each Doom on David Renfield. Great card. Yeah. May he rest in peace. Storm of Spirits, it's a fight spell that attacks, deals damage to every enemy or location, and it's just, a really good option for Marie Lambeau, and also just, most Mystics with a good brain score, which is, most of them, if not all of them.
Yeah, it can buy us some scary situations.
Yeah. St. Hubert's Key is probably a very good accessory slot for Marie Lambeau.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So you get +1 brain and +1 book and -2 sanity. You might think that this further creates that weird, situation with the book and the brain, and it does, but it makes your book more, it gives you more value to your book while also bumping up for the spells that you're going to want to use your spell charges on, and then your book will now just be able to get more clues than it otherwise would have to work harder for.
Yeah, it depends on how you kind of build your deck. If you're focusing entirely on brain, you're probably still going to just want the Holy Rosary because it costs 2 less resources. If you're going to ignore your book at all, for pretty much the entire campaign. But when you're maybe I can throw a few, I can afford to pay the 2 extra resources for a couple extra investigates later. It's on 3 shroud locations instead of 2 now, right? It's a bit more common of a number.
Definitely. Level 1 Book of Shadows, you can exhaust, spend a resource, add a charge to a spell asset you control. The same, but just a little bit worse.
It's fine.
Yeah. Level 2 Ward of Protection allows you to use it on other people, which is nice. Sharing is caring. And then we have the level 3 Arcane Initiate, which enters with a Doom on it, or 2 Horror.
Flexibility, wow.
Yeah, and you might think, why would I want to choose the 2 Horror? Well,
maybe you're playing St. Hubert's Key, you've taken 2 arcane researches, and you've taken a brain trauma because you started with...
in the thick of it to buy charisma. There's tons of reasons for it. Yeah.
You play too many Ward of Protections.
Yeah. And then Key of East, which is just freaking
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Into our... Well, first we actually have some spells that we can actually
first
upgrade
time,
to.
wow.
Yeah. So Arcane Insight, this is actually a pretty sick card in general that, it's kind of just outclassed, but also still, a good card. So while Investigator's taking to her turn, you spend a charge location, gets -2 Shroud until the end of this turn. This does a lot of things. It allows you to tell, hey, Goon, there's no monsters for you to fight. This is now a 0 Shroud location. Get some clues.
I mean, honestly, I don't think this card's that outclassed. I think it's just... It's, unassuming.
That's,
Part of it's it is sort of a support card. If you're a yellow investigator, you're probably just playing Cryptic Research for your experience.
Yeah.
Because drawing 3 cards is sick. But this is 9 flashlights, man.
Yeah, and the card is. I think what the problem is that it's not exciting to spend your experience on.
Yeah, it's not exciting, and it just kind of like suggesting you don't really think about it.
Yep.
It's just kind of there.
I could see this doing great things in a min-tested 0 deck. That could be really spicy there.
Yeah, there's a new min for
you. New min to try. I'll give it a shot. Let's go for it. And then we got Suggestion, when you could add your brain value to your foot for an evasion attempt. If you not succeed by at least 2, remove a charge from Suggestion. And when a non-elite enemy would attack you, spend a charge, cancel that attack. This is actually probably really good in Marie as well, right? Just a free action she can use to evade if she has Doom on something. And it just will never break because you're probably going to be at 7. Is there better things that your spell slots can do, solve the problem by killing an enemy? Yes. But if you are primarily this actually would be really good if you're building a deck that focuses on your book as your way of getting clues, because you're going to do it more passively, right?
Yeah.
And then you can keep this as kind of an emergency button.
Might also be nice if you have if you're playing more supporty build and you just have teammates who care about enemies being exhausted.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, no, I think for this taking arcane slot's really tough. I think that if you're going to be playing a spell that you evade things with, you're going to want Ineffable Truth.
Yeah.
But
Fieldwork. After you enter a location that has a clue on an exhaust, you get +2 skill value for the next skill test you perform this phase. Fun card.
Yes.
No stone unturned. You get to search the top 6 cards of your deck or an investigator's deck at your location and find something. Tutoring. It's really good. Logical reasoning, if you have a clue, which you probably will, because if you haven't guessed by Marie's stat line, she's kind of here to get clues.
Well, she can fight too.
She can fight too, but she also can, even when you're a fighter, you can just grab a clue, right? You have 4 book.
Yep.
Heal 2 horror, discard a terror from a card from an investigator's threat area or location. Just a nice card. And then Eureka, which actually is really nice because it has 2 relevant skills. The only downside is it takes up one of your 5 splash
It's all
cards.
the stats that you use.
Exactly. No fist. Who needs it?
No. Fist bad. We got our Forgotten Age cards here. Yeah. Mr. This is an invasion spell that the upside is you get to move to a connecting location. The downside is you got to discard a card. It's like just a fine choice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super cheap too.
Yeah, great for like lower player counts, I guess, so you can just like leave an enemy behind.
Yep.
Arcane Research. You should probably consider playing it if you like. You can play spells level 0 to 5. This makes the spells easier to upgrade into level 5. It's really good. You have 8 brains, so like you should take both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get to like level 5 spells really fast with 2 arcane researches and then down the rabbit hole.
It also like
just absolutely power through it.
It also like it's not the stat that Baron Samdi's going to be targeting, so you're going to have a lot more control over your horror soak than your meat soak.
Yeah. Anyway, we have Enraptured here. Nice purple skill. Uses book. For quite a while, Marie was one of the few investigators that could like use this effectively. It's like Daisy was the other one. Put a charge or seeker on an asset you control, which is nice to refuel some of your spells.
Yep.
Get an extra use out of them. Olive McBride, she is solid soak, and when you reveal Chaos Soak and exhaust, reveal 3 tokens instead of 1. Choose 2 of them to resolve and ignore the other. You can play some like neat care about which tokens you draw builds.
Yeah, if you're playing the Jewel.
Yeah, if you're playing like the Jewel and like Ritual Candles, and maybe you're playing the Jacqueline Fine deck.
Yep.
Line of spells instead of the sort of the core ones.
Yeah,
campaign
definitely.
ones. So, Premonition is a nice little trick that is really just kind of a filler card, but you can do some really neat stuff with it. It's fast, play during any lightning bolt player window, and when it comes into play, you put it into play and reveal a random Chaos token from the Chaos bag, put sealing on Premonition, and then the next time someone would draw a token, they draw the one on Premonition. So you can do this like during a skill test to see if people need to commit cards. You can do it just at the start of the round to see if people can do something. You can throw it out there and be like, 0, like, yeah, go take your shotgun shot mark or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, also, like, yeah, we used to play that was just, like, at the start of the investigation phase and was like, who wants to use it? But I really like Premonition now for, like...
It's like a butterfly effect.
Yeah, you save it for an important skill test, like, maybe the one that is you don't want to miss on, like, your Storm of Spirits. And you play Premonition, and then you say, okay, I can pass this, or, okay, I need to put something into this. Yeah, it's very nice.
We have our level 4 Misivra. This is +3 brain. Wow. And that's it.
It's only one card from your hand, so that's nice.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the upside there. Well, you should be able to like move twice or someone. I guess it has 5 charges instead of 4 as well. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We have Recall the Future. Slight errors reaction. When a skill test you perform begins, if it's ready, you name a Chaos token, and if the Chaos token is revealed during a skill test, you exhaust it, and you get +2 skill value for the skill test. This pairs really well with the symbol revealing cards like Olive McBride to kind of... You can still like pick like the squid and have it be a -3 instead of a -5 or something like that and still pass your test.
Yep.
Level 2 Defiance. Level 0 is in here because it's bad. This one, you ignore other effects of all symbol tokens, including their modifiers during the test which it's committed to. Just a nice little supporty card there.
It's kind of funny that they didn't say ignore the effects and modifiers or the modifiers and effects of all these and then putting it in the brackets at the end. A little bit funny on that.
Yeah, because other cards ignore the effects, but not the modifiers. Well, lots of funny things about the template in this game.
Just put it on the pile.
Yeah, just add it in there. We got Sacrifice. It's a nice level 1 event that discards a mystic asset you control, and then you draw 3 cards or gain 3 resources or a combination thereof.
Very nice.
Great card for Mary to get rid of any of your high Doom pile cards.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, easy.
Yeah, 3 more. Yeah, Crystalline Elder Sign. This one is a nice little accessory slot that you seal a +1 or the star, and you get +1 to all your skills. Sealing the +1 is generally preferable, assuming it's in your bag, because it's like you get to draw the +1 for every test. If your teammates complain about it, you tell them that you getting +1. If you drawing +1 on every single test is way better than their 1 in 16 odds of drawing it.
Yeah. Or you can also say, I'm a mystic, shut up and die.
Yeah. If you don't stop complaining, I'm going to start taking up David Renfield every turn.
Yeah, or like, I'm going to leave Baron Samedi in play. I'm going to tech to have him be in play. Yeah.
Shards of the Void. This is a level 3 spell that... Look, it's like a real complicated effect. I don't want to go through it again, but it's a fight spell.
Yeah, and you just basically use 0 tokens. It's really fun, and it's actually pretty good, but it's also just like Shriveling's just more consistent.
Yeah, also, you don't have to, like, read it half the time you use it.
There's a lot of text. There's a lot of text.
Yep. Then we have level 3 Alter Fate. Wow, an off-color spell card. It's fast. You play during any Lightning Bolt player window. Choose and discard a non-weakness treachery that is not attached to an elite enemy. Great. Like, really, really good card, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. All right, now we're in Circle Undone, and you might be saying that's Marie's cycle. She probably got a lot of support. No.
Not really? Not really?
Not really.
It's not really her cycle.
Yeah, because Marie was an extra investigator in the Circle Undone.
Yeah, they're like, we should probably release her, actually, at some point.
Yeah. And she's there, and she's kind of just hanging out. She does get Prophesy, which is good in, like, any Mystic, but Marie can maybe use it a bit quicker.
I think the Prophesy played more into like the Silver Twilight Lodge side of things, where they have lots of cultists that can Doom on them.
Yep, definitely.
Which, it makes sense that Mary was released in that set, but they didn't really provide any support for it, no.
Deny Existence is a staple. Just say no to the game. Really fun. Eldritch Inspiration, when you would on a Mystic card, when you would trigger an effect of a Skull, Tablet, Squid, cultist, or autofail, you get to resolve that effect in additional time or cancel it. What's cool is that this one actually has some cards that will care about, you wanting to resolve an additional time. But most of the time, these are great to just cancel it. Prophesy, it gets more icons when there's more Doom in play. So that's really nice.
Yeah, it's like a solid filler skill.
Yeah. Sign Magic, it gives you an additional spell or ritual slot. An additional arcane slot, which can only be used to hold spells and rituals. We got there. It's fast, takes up a hand slot, which is not too competitive with Marie, unless, you're using it to hold magnifying glasses or something, which you probably would not want that in your deck anyway if you were holding magnifying glasses.
Yep.
The spells of choice in this cycle are Wither and Sixth Sense.
What do you mean spells of choice? The spells that you have.
We talk about them in the spell video. There's a lot of... we get nitty and gritty. You can check that out there. And Four of Cups is a tarot card, so if it's in your hand at the start of the game, you put it into play, you get +1 Brain. Brain is good, and there's no real contention for that.
No evasion spell in this cycle.
No, there's not.
Like, there isn't really anything to do. It would just be a lot better than the other two.
Yeah.
Because, it would also be a lot better than any of the other evasion spells.
Yes, yeah.
So
we got Divermus Mysterious. This is the one that Travis said earlier. You get to exhaust, place a Doom on it, play a spell or insight event from your discard pile. Wow. Reducing its resource cost by 1. Wow. And after resolves removed from the game, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. That's good. No complaints.
Thank God. This is a really nice card in Marie because spells and insights are like, we've already talked about a bunch of them. Spells are her thing, and being able to do it multiple times is really good. Right?
Yeah, it's really nice. But like with this, you can like clear off a location real fast with like one action or your free action or whatever is to play read the signs and then just like flash it back.
Yep.
Yeah. You can just bail your teammate out of a scary situation with a double Storm of Spirits or a double Spectral Razor or something like that.
Hell yeah. And the Doom, it just gives you the
want
action.
that.
Yeah, it's really nice. Diana Esperance, she kind of does a similar thing where you get to attach a non-weakness spell event from your hand to her, and then you may play it. But you just have to spend a secret on Diana and exhaust her. Great card. Just more spells. Spells are your things. And this would be one where you will want a charisma.
Yeah.
You don't want Diana to just get exploded.
No, unless you have some other plan for dealing with Baron Samedi.
Yeah.
Maybe you're playing like Mr. Rook. You're going to try and dig him out and get him as soon as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, yeah. Deny Existence 5, really good card. Say no to the game and yes to you. Good combination. We have the Hallowed Mirror. This is an occult level 0.
Wow.
It comes with a spell.
No, I really like the reason, like the at start I theorized why she has a occult level 0. The card's not even in the guide.
Yeah.
Because it sucks for her.
Oh, yeah.
Because all the upgrades rely on you succeeding by an enormous amount.
Yeah, and she's not.
No, at a book test, which is a little unreasonable.
Yes. But you can play Hallowed Mirror, which turns into a healing spell, which is really nice to mitigate the Baron Samedi punches. Yeah.
It is actually very nice for her, yeah.
Hawkeye Folding Camera. It is an item and tool that gives her brain and book when you get clues from locations.
2 stats.
Occult Lexicon. If this is in your deck, it actually does not count towards your 5 Seeker Survivor cards because it's an occult.
Yeah.
This allows you to deal testless damage just at the cost of cards and resources. You can also use those cards to gain resources.
Yep.
Yeah.
One really handy thing about these, both spells, you can play them for free.
Definitely.
Without an action.
Yeah.
Well, for your extra action.
Yeah.
But
when we say that, yeah, you get it. You get it.
Yeah.
But you also be like, but I'm a new player. I don't get it. You're confusing me. And I'll be like, you'll get there eventually.
You'll figure it out. Yeah.
We have Fingerprint Kit, which is as like a shriveling level 0.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then we got Curiosity. You might be able to trigger this. It has relevant symbols, and if you get like a guts or a perception out of this that doesn't replace itself,
it's fine.
It did its job.
Mm-hmm. You notice no red cards from that cycle, Justin.
No.
You know why?
Why?
Who's the red investigator?
Rita! It's Rita.
No, require you to have 5 foot to be good.
Yeah, no. No. The other thing I've noticed is that Dream Eaters, like, it has a few good cards, but overall, Dream Eaters is kind of a fucking...
Yeah, there's like a third of the cards are like really good, and then like 2/3 are kind of like...
Yeah. Anyway, it's Dream Eaters.
Yeah, Dream Eaters. Open Gate lets your team move around. Very handy for certain campaigns and like big maps, especially ones where you have to like retrace your steps. Yeah, it's a nice like flex card, but you probably want to know what you're getting into before you put it in your deck.
Yeah.
So
my favorite memory was Open Gate was when we did all Mystics, and we said we all take Open Gate, but then Bryn and I immediately started taking them out of the deck.
I didn't.
Yeah, no, Travis is a man of his word. Bryn and I are scum.
Well, I mean, I also had other trash to take out my deck.
Yeah.
Scroll of Prophecies is a very nice hand slot item for Mystics, as they hurt a little bit on draw.
Yeah.
Mary doesn't suffer from that quite as much because of her Seeker access, but it is still nice to have if you want to spend your Seeker cards on something else.
Definitely.
Read the Signs, Spectral Razor, and Ethereal Form all let you do a thing and add your brain to it, and then you do it a little bit better. Yeah. Read the Sign gets you a second clue, and then has some other garbage by ignoring a location. Spectral Razor deals up 2 or 3 damage if the guy's non-elite, and lets you engage, which is really good, so you can't accidentally gut your teammate.
That's nice.
Yeah, and Ethereal Form turns you into a ghost.
It turns you into a ghost.
Yeah, I like how they said it like it's a keyword or something that they're going to use in the future, but we're never seeing another card Ethereal.
No, I want to see it again. I want the Ghost Investigator.
I could kind of see like Ethereal being a shortcut for like if they wanted to have like a boss with like an invulnerable phase or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it actually gets keyword and they're like, after he takes extra more damage around, it becomes Ethereal until the end of the round.
Yeah. I could see it too.
Yeah, Word of Command. This one is just a tutor for a spell card.
Whoa.
Wow. Yeah. And Twilight Catherine Price. Nice little ally slot, getting them with the charisma to protect her, but she makes you basically never run out of charges on your spell assets.
It's really nice.
And Eye of Truth is a spell.
It's a spell, yeah.
And you know what else it is? It's practice.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect right here. Eye of Truth is it's really good against the game.
Yes.
It's a skill that commits for 4 wild, and if the skill test is on a treachery and the test is successful, you add that treachery to the victory display and attach the Eye of Truth to it. And then for like the rest of the game, whenever someone draws that card, they get +4.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And practice makes perfect. It's yellow staple, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. So it's fast. You play during any skill test in your location. You look at the top 9 cards of your deck for practice skill and commit to this test, Fable, and then shuffle them back. And after the skill test ends, if you're successful, instead of discarding the skill, you add to your hand for a second use. Mm-hmm. Mary has had we've previewed a couple cards that are practice that we didn't mention that they were. Mm-hmm. Enraptured is one of them.
Yep.
Prophesy is another.
Yep.
And the Eye of Truth. You can like have +8 to your brain test or your investigation or whatever, and then just like style on the game later.
Yeah, definitely.
During the Mythos phase. It's really good.
Yep.
Here's ground for supplies. Get a level 0 card back. Some good level 0 cards like Prax makes perfect.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, even like in this very cycle, more copies of Read the Signs and Spectral Razor is good.
Yeah, no, I mean, Spectral Razor is like a little bit soft to marry because it's only 5.
That is true.
But it's still fine include, I think, because you're probably playing cards to boost your brain anyway.
Yeah. All right, on to Innsmouth.
Wow, 4 different colors of cards.
Wow. For a detailed breakdown of the Bless and Curse cards, you can find a link in the description. We talk about the whole archetype in greater detail. Mm-hmm. Sword Cane allows you to fight or evade with your brain. instead of your fist or your foot. Nice card.
It's higher.
Yep, takes up your hand slots, so it's less, like, contested. Yeah. Blood Pact level 0. This is a good kind of like playing down the rabbit hole, and you want to go into Blood Pact in the future. You can just put one of these in your deck and then upgrade into it. It's very nice.
Yeah, it's a solid card for like level 0, Mary, I think, especially if you want to have something else in your ally slot.
Yep.
Because most of the level 0 cards that put Doom on themselves, prior to Scarlet Keys, I guess, were allies.
Yep.
So
yep,
it's a nice slotless way to do that.
Definitely. We have Enchant Weapon, which happens to be a spell. Basically, you get to attach to one of the weapons controlled by the goon of your group, and then they get to add your brain to one attack, and it deals +1 damage. It's a very fun, flavorful card that's also actually pretty good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We got Eldritch Sophist, which allows you to move secrets or charges from an asset you control to another asset controlled by an investigator location. So this guy can refill your...
Yeah, he's just sort of neat.
Yeah, he can refill stuff for you.
Yeah.
And then we got Mariner's Compass, which is kind of like the climax to that Dark Horse build that Travis talked about. Marie can definitely have a good time with Mariner's Compass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a fun thing. Fun build to do. There's probably better versions, but who cares? All right, I'll keep this going. What did that time say? 35, okay. All right, I'll keep this one going.
Yeah.
So we got Down the Rabbit Hole. This is something that we've been talking about for a while. This is whenever the first 2 cards you upgrade, you get to reduce the experience cost of them by 1. Mm-hmm. Then if you ever want to purchase a new card, you have to increase the experience cost by 1. So generally, when I'm building a Down the Rabbit Hole deck, I look at like where I want it to go, and if I can upgrade a lot of cards, I'll be like, I'm gonna do this down the rabbit hole, and I'll look at like maybe buying 2 new cards. This works really well with stuff like, even though in the thick of it is scary, you can use it to grab the spells that we're gonna see in this cycle to kind of help you down the rabbit hole. Just basically, down the rabbit hole is like, you can't force it into every deck. Like, if you're going to be wanting to buy, like, Diana Esperance and, like, other stuff that you can't really get, it's going to be lower value. But if your deck looks like it's going to be doing that, consider down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, for me personally, there's, like, 2 situations I play down the rabbit hole. One, when I intend to upgrade every card in my deck and never buy new ones.
Yes.
Like, the Diana deck that I play, it's just, my deck at the end was the same as my level 0 deck, just the cards were all higher level.
Yeah.
Either that, or it is a nice way to kind of juice your deck's early game if you think it's going to need experience to be functional.
Definitely.
I played it in the Mia deck I just played because I thought I was going to need certain experience cards to make my deck functional, and the answer was I didn't need them. But, like, you know, if your deck really needs to dig out items or something like that, you can use this to upgrade your backpacks really fast, and then like upgrade the items that you're gonna find. And like, yeah, sure, you might have to pay like 4 extra experience late game for some of your other cards that you wanted, but it balances out and might be a net positive.
Yeah.
And like the extra experience you got can help you get experience in the scenarios in between.
Definitely. Yeah.
It's actually kind of a complex card, a lot more complex than it looks at first glance.
Yeah. It's also a fun card. I like it a lot more than Arcane Research because, like...
I do as well.
I like the preliminary deck building that it gives you, where you like can have like a plan. You're like, okay, so what am I going to do? Where am I going to spend extra on? Where am I getting my reductions?
Yeah, I disliked it at first because I was like, why would this is just if I only upgrade certain cards in my deck. It really hems me in. But after I realized it doesn't necessarily do that. You can use it to kind of accelerate your deck.
Yep. Winds of Power. You can play it to place 2 charges in asset control, but if you draw it during your turn, you can play it. Which I've never seen done, but I imagine it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, like, I haven't really seen any of us play this, so...
Yeah.
Either, so, yeah, the opportunity is not even there.
Yeah. We have Foresight. An investigate location would draw a card from the deck and counter deck, name a card. Okay, yeah, so if it's the named card from your deck, you get to immediately play that card at a -2 cost. And if it's from the encounter deck, you get to cancel the card's effects and discard it. So you'll need to do some work. You can't just like blind call this one.
Yeah, you got to build around a little bit, but you have some solid tools in like Scroll of Secrets and Scrying that Mary has access to, as well as there's a handful of like purple cards that click the encounter deck to deal with that.
Definitely. Yeah.
So,
we got Occult Theory where you. You get that awkward stat line, and you get to just like boost one of them to God mode. Yeah.
It's like Promise of Power, but it doesn't.
It is like Promise of Power, but you can't commit it through practice makes perfect.
No.
It's
sad.
But like it is it's a good option for making your numbers big. Yeah.
Big numbers.
Healing Words. heals you damage from an investigator location. It's a spell, so you get a free action if you have Doom, which is really nice because this is another way.
Once you experience Sandy.
Yeah, exactly. Grounded, you get +1 skill value during tests on all spell cards. Sorry, it's fast and it soaks for 2 and 2, but it must non-direct must be assigned to it before it can be assigned to your investigator card. Baron Samedi will swallow this card whole.
Yep.
But it's still just like making all your spell cards better is very nice, and you can spend resources to make it even better.
It is like 1-in-1 free soak.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it is, even though it looks slow with Baron Samedi in play, it's still worth playing.
And I mean, like, realistically, you don't want to live in fear of your weakness for like a card like this. Like the card, if you play it and you get a few things, you get some soak. If you get like 2 tests out of it, it's probably worth it.
Yep.
You get more. You want more than 2, but like don't live in fear of your composures
You
dying.
don't sit there with it in your hand and be like, I can't play it till Baron Samedi's dealt with.
Yeah, just be like, here's my composure, I'm going to get going.
Dweeb game.
Protecting the Anurnic. Play after an ally asks a location is discarded by a card effect or defeated. Either return it to its owner's hand or its owner draws 3 cards. Great card.
Yeah, really good
Great card that I think we've only played once, but it's a fantastic card. Yeah. Really good for... you can't save Baron Samedi, but like David Renfield, you can return him to your hand or turn him into cards. Yeah. Same with your...
Plays really well. Sacrifice.
Yeah, Arcane Initiate. I was going to say Sorcerer's Apprentice. That is absolutely not
Nice
it.
with Diana Sprints as well.
Yes, definitely. Brandon Gathaga, it's the fight one here. We talk about more in the spell video. Cool card. Look at them. Look at them all. Blur is the evade one. It gives you an additional action. Once again, we talk about in the spell video. Divination, we're going to do a special mention from Marie Lambeau because you can use your book instead of your brain, which allows you to commit cards like, Deduction and Enraptured to it. Yeah. And then Earthly Serenity is the very nice healing card where it's the amount that you succeed by, testing 1 and 0 for its level 1 and level 4 version. And you're going to spend the charges by the amount you succeed by. And if you succeed by 0, which honestly, it has happened to me, but it's like so hard to lose those resources. It's a great healing card.
It's so hard, yeah.
Yeah. And it's just really good for balancing out Baron Samedi.
It is really funny, I think, that it's more likely to happen on level 4 than level 1.
Yeah.
But, like, much easier to lose your resources than level 4.
Yeah. Then we got Prophetic, which will pay for Fortune Spell or Spirit cards. And you also can spend 2 resources on it, which it replenishes each round, to get +1 skill for a Fortune Spell or Spirit.
Great card for
Mary. Yeah. Heavy Furs. After a non-autofill symbol on a Chaos token is revealed, you can deal damage to Heavy Furs to cancel that Chaos token, return it to the bag, and reveal a new Chaos token. If you're fishing for Chaos tokens, this is really nice.
2 hearts.
And it also has 2 hearts. Yeah. Bandages
That's a big part of it.
Bandages as well will help you survive Baron Samedi.
Yeah. And
then we got Pocket Telescope.
It's a nice utility card.
Yeah, and I mean, she has 4 books, so she can take advantage of it. It allows you to look at unrevealed locations that are connecting to you, and you can also investigate a revealed connecting location as if you were there. But not as if enemies were there or engaged with you. Important distinction there. Yeah.
Also, 1 card from this expansion to make it the guy really probably should have, Astronomical Atlas.
Yes.
She can make use of the book and the brain symbols, which is probably going to be every card in your deck.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Travis.
We got the Return 2s. I kind of forget these exist sometimes. Got a level 2 Arcane Stays. It's better than the level 0 version. In pretty much every way, yeah. We have our level 2 Ray of CK, which is kind of the intermediate between the 0 and the 4. We have our level 3 Clarity of Mind. Again, here, because you can use not as important as the health healing one, but again, sometimes you could accrue a whole bunch of horror from your arcane researches, your ward protections and whatnot.
Yeah, your arcane researches, you're in the thick of it.
Yeah, all kinds of things that you could take horror from. We got Storm of Spirits. It's just better than the level 0 version, like I hope it is, so that's good. Our level 2 Intermediary Mist of Relay. Man, every time I see these, it bothers me that they're level 2 and Shriveling's level 3-5. I hate it so much. Like, why? We have the Hierophant. It's an alternative tarot card where your arcane slots can be used to hold accessories and vice versa. And you can play for free if it's in your hand, of course. And you just get an extra arcane slot. This is a pretty solid card just for the extra arcane slot, to be honest. But yeah, it can enable some neat things with like a big pile of accessories or whatever.
Definitely.
Sign Magic, level 3. This one is still fast, takes up a hand slot. And you still get 1 additional arcane slot. And as a reaction, after you activate the action ability on a spell or ritual asset, you can exhaust sign magic to activate an action ability on a different spell or ritual asset you control without paying its action cost. A lot of arrows in that one.
There's 3, yeah.
This card plays really nicely with cards like Clarity of Mind and Healing Words that aren't often worth the action to spend on, because you can just like kind of tack them on to an evasion or like just doing something real, right?
Yeah.
Like, Clarity of Mind, spending an action to heal 2 horror isn't great, but, investigating, getting 2 clues, and healing 2 horror is great.
Yeah. Another thing is that even if you just have 2, like, Sixth Sense in play, you can, for your free action, use both of them, which seems pretty good.
It does seem pretty good.
Yeah.
We have our level 1 suggestion here, which is like all the things that Justin said about the level 4 still apply here, I think. You just don't...
Get a dodge.
Yeah, you don't get the dodges, so...
So this one's actually probably the better choice.
Yeah, it only costs 1.
Yeah, it's lockpicks.
Yeah. I bet you could put together a pretty decent... It's the stupid mechanic that cares about the colors of your cards.
Synergy?
Yeah, pretty decent synergy deck with...
Oh, definitely. Yeah, Close the Circle probably could have been mentioned in the Edge of the Earth cards.
I mean, you have to play pretty, like, specific...
Yeah, you have to build around it. Yeah, you have to, like...
Specific cards,
but you could.
like, they're there, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have level 1 Alter Fate, which isn't significantly worse than level 3 one. It costs 3 times as many resources, and it's not fast, and you can't play it during any lightning bolt window, but it still just dumps a treachery that is not attached to an elite enemy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you also, like, if you're feeling a little bit spicy, if you play down the rabbit hole, you can buy this, pay an extra, and then basically just upgrade to the normal one as if you never paid that extra experience in the beginning with.
Yeah, you still get like 1 off.
Yeah. All right, on to...
Behold, my spells.
Yeah. Yeah, this was, I decided to do something a little bit different for this one, where I put all of them together.
It's a great choice. Just go watch the spell video.
Yeah, go watch the spell video. We talk about Azure Flame, Clairvoyance, and Ineffable Truth. A few things of note here with Marie Lambeau. Azure Flame can be kind of scary with Marie Lambeau because of Baron Samedi. Not to the point where, like...
Start, take 3 damage. Or like, oh.
Not to the point where, like, I wouldn't play them, right? But it's just some consideration you're going to need to have for your deck if you're playing Azure Flames.
Honestly, we should play Ineffable Truth way more. That card, like the level 5, that is so good.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah.
Just shriveling, you get +3 brain on and a free evade.
I think we've talked we've talked about it, and I agree. I think it's probably
it's kind of insane.
It's just a slower kill spell, right? Like, it might not kill them right away, but it solves the problem for a turn. Yeah.
No, like, it's slower than, like, Azure Flame 3, but it's the same pace as 0 and 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
no,
it's slower
definitely.
than Azure Flame 5, sorry.
But, like...
Card's really good.
Yeah, it's... It's the one evade spell where I look at and I'm like, I could see myself playing this because it solves the problem.
Yeah, it does solve the problem.
I love solving problems. Alright, that's actually like, so like, everyone's been telling me like, you gotta play Blur, it's a great evade spell. I played Blur and I was like, okay, so now in my action I'm gonna solve the problem with my enemy that I evaded. That was really funny. We got the Robes of Endless Night. When you play a spell card, exhaust it to reduce the cost of that card by 1. Takes up the body slot, which if you've been paying attention, we haven't shown anything that wants that.
1. Which first.
Sorry, my mistake.
Honestly fills a very similar role to this.
Yes.
Of taking 2 heart damage for you.
Yeah. And then the upgraded version, it reduces the cost by 1, and playing that card does not provoke attacks of opportunity.
To be fair, you might want Backpack with the new Doom
yes,
Scarlet
the new,
Keys
definitely,
too. So
100%, yeah. Eldritch Inspiration, it no longer cares about the symbol. It's just when it triggers a when, if, or after, you either cancel that effect or resolve it in an additional time.
Yeah, I feel like that's a huge upgrade, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
I couldn't give you an example of why it's better.
It would work really well for, like, the...
you can reduce the cost of a card by 2 on Robes of Endless Night. It says when.
That is actually true. I've never thought about that, but that seems accurate.
Yeah, you could, like, look at extra cards with the grotesque, or extra chits with the grotesque statue.
I think you would... Yeah, I mean...
You could draw 4 cards off your guts.
If, yeah.
If?
What I was gonna say that it also works with the.
So is this like? I'm confused about the wording, as is often the case in these videos when we look at obscure cards. But when you resolve an effect on a mystic card that triggers when, if, or after a chaos token is revealed, like Guts triggers after a chaos token is revealed because it's
no, that's
determined
the thing.
on the test being successful.
So no, I'm gonna wager that no, it doesn't work like that. This is only for still only for spells and spell assets that like when you would fail a test by 0. Actually, I don't know. I'm checking out. Travis, we're gonna go to Grotesque Statue.
Eight charges of recharge, Justin. Back on the hype train.
That actually is kind of sick. Grotesque Statue, you get to reveal additional chaos tokens. You can you reveal 2 instead of 1. You get to choose one to resolve and ignore the other. If it has no charges, you're going to have to discard it, which is fair, but it seems like unnecessary with the way some cards are now. But it's a great card. You should play Grotesque Statue sometime.
Yeah.
Upgraded Guts, 3 brain. If you succeed, draw a card. If you succeed by 2 or more, draw 2 cards. Recharge allows you to put charges on a spell or relic asset controlled by investigator location. And if you reveal one of the bad symbols, you add 1 charge to the chosen asset. Otherwise, you add 4 charges to the chosen asset. Called Invocation, this allows you to kill with your book and cards from your hand. Solano Fragments, this is for if you're going to be going like bigger on the hand size thing. You get book and brain, depending on the number of cards in your hand. Then we got Higher Education. We have 5 more cards in hand. You can spend a resource to get +1 brain or +1 book. It's just an option you can explore.
Yeah, I think like there's a decent hand size build for Marie.
Yeah.
Not great, but decent.
Yeah, definitely. And they got a Test of Will. When investigator location draws an anomaly to treachery, you get a test brain 3. If you succeed, cancel that card's revelation effect. This could essentially be more copies of Ward Protection.
Wards 3 and 4.
Yeah. All right, Travis, the deck.
It's just purple cards. It's just a purple deck. It is.
It is just purple.
Look at it. We got Azure Flame and Shriveling to fight things. And we have Rite of Seeking to get clues, and like no other asset because you can use your book sometimes. Hollowed Mirror to not explode to Baron Samedi. St. Hubert's Key because having our 2 stats good is good. We got Arcane Initiate and David Renfield to generate cards and resources respectively and have Doom on them. Arcane Research because we're going to be upgrading a lot of these cards.
Mm-hmm.
Deny Existence because saying no is good. Moonlight Ritual is a panic button. Read the Signs is a little more clue support, and Uncage the Soul for Economy, War Protection, saying no, the game is good. We got some Raptured, get a couple extra uses of our spells. Guts, because sometimes the 4 brain's not going to cut it. Promise Power, because sometimes you need 8 brain. And Prophesy, because it's just flex, and it's on theme for Mary.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Wow. Easy deck.
Yeah, it's just Mystic cards.
Yeah, lots of different ways you could take this.
Yeah, like this is like a good base too that you can then start like I want to start like picking some pieces out to build like to add the Survivor secret.
Yeah, that was sort of my intention building most of these. I think was that I wanted them to be like very flexible and that someone could look at it and use as a starting point for to either upgrade into different archetypes or like take 3 or 4 cards out and it's like a nice solid base for them.
Yeah, definitely. And then obviously, as Travis said at the beginning of the video, no Scarlet Keys cards here, and there were some good cards added in Scarlet Keys that Marie's able to take advantage of. Mm-hmm. We do that for multiple reasons. Don't worry, we will be covering them in the future.
Maybe by the time the next expansion comes out.
Yes. Yes. But you must understand, there's a lot of investigators in this game. And even if we did at this point now, if we did a video a week, it still will take us a year to get through every investigator.
Like starting over?
No, as soon as we can do the Scarlet Keys, right? It'll be, if we did 1 investigator a week, it'd still take us a year.
Like we did but like we did expanded guides starting from 0.
Yeah.
I'm like, we don't have 52 investigators left, Justin.
No. We only have I think we actually have only 6 or 7 now.
Nice.
We're almost done. Yeah, so...
Nice.
Yeah, should be fun. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed Travis and I talking about Marie Lambeau. The next one, I actually don't know what the next one is. I think it might be Bob Jenkins.
That sounds kind of...
Yeah, I think we're on the Edge of the Earth Investigators next.
There's 6 left, and then it's not... Oh, no, yeah, there'll be 6.
Yeah, because we have 6. So we have Bob Jenkins, all of the all the Edge of the Earth Investigators. We have we have 8. We have Parallel Wendy, Lola Hayes, and Jim Culver.
We haven't done Jim yet?
No.
Oh, no.
Jim was voted last by the patrons when I did the poll back in like summer of last year.
I'd like to... Can we do Lola last?
Oh, I think Jim was the last Mystic, but I think Lola is still last.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Do you remember when we did the Lola new player guide, and you made a video for colorful Lola,
Yeah.
and like not colorful Lola, and we did the same video twice.
Yeah. That was really funny.
That was great.
We just didn't know it. Like 2 weeks in a row, too.
Yeah, and then someone's like, "This looks like the exact same video." And we just talked about the exact same cards, probably said the same shit, and we never did the Lola video again because honestly, she's not worth it.
I don't want to talk about Lola.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one, and as always, GG's.